I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Haunted Marianne is here. Hello.
Hello!
Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
I hope my audio sounds fine.
It sounds perfectly fine. So tell me, I know you're about ready to get things started as a VTuber. Just got a few things left to go. Have you got a starting time ready?
In terms of debut, it's still quite a bit of ways away because I'm trying to get the model just perfect.
Well, you want to get that all set up and ready to go. When did you decide you wanted to do VTubing?
Back in 2020 when I still would have been too young to be in the majority of VTubing spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Pandemic, I did end up watching a lot of VTubers pop up.
Was there somebody in particular that you were watching?
Mainly the Hololive ones, if I'm being honest.
You were a Hololive person.
I was a Hololive girly.
Yes. Did you watch all the English ones, or did you watch all of them?
I mainly watch the English ones. I'm not very fluent in Japanese.
Yeah, all I can do is watch the clips of those. But I mean, they're pretty funny on those clips a lot of the time.
They are.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. But the and that kind of put the itch in you to try VTubing.
Well, the main reason I even fell in love with VTubing, like I said, I did watch a lot of the VTubers during pandemic times.
Yeah.
But the main reason I wanted to get into VTubing is because I always wanted to be a streamer. I always wanted to be a content creator of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even before VTubers became this big thing.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be some sort of content creator because, I grew up watching a lot of the greats like, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, all that.
Right.
And I wanted to be a creator that, I would have watched when I was a kid that I would have been proud of.
So you watched a lot of what was then, most of the time was just Let's Plays and sometimes other types of content, but back in those days, a lot of those folks were basically just doing Let's Plays.
Yeah, that's kind of what I specialize in.
So what are you playing right now? I know you've been streaming, but not with a model yet. What have you been playing?
I'm coming off of Dread Wait.
Okay.
I finished that 100%, and then I moved on to Five Nights at Freddy's for a little bit. We're just stalling for time here till I get the capture card, and I can play Pokemon.
Yeah. So what led you to the horror game?
Oh, I've always been a big fan of horror movies and horror media in general.
Oh,
The
geez.
amount of effort that goes into movie making in general, but I've always found the amount of special effects work and practical effects work that go into horror movies just amazing.
Even the bad ones?
Even the bad ones. It's always fun to watch a schlocky, crappy horror movie.
That's where your Mystery Science Theater comes in. You can watch the really bad horror films on Mystery Science Theater, but so you have a history of enjoying the type of horror stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
So what is your favorite type of horror film? Is it slasher? Is it gothic? What type?
Oh god, I am a sucker for good old slasher movies.
Okay, so
you can't beat the likes of Scream, Friday the 13th. Just classics.
So you weren't running around the house, throwing fake blood all over everything, were you?
I was not. So the thing about me and my horror, my discovery in loving horror is, I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies as a kid. So I had to subside with finding horror movie clips and reading the Wikipedia entries for a while.
Hey, wherever you can get it.
I just had to get my fix. I had to figure out how it was made. I had to figure out what it was about. And then, of course, when I, became an adult, I made it just my mission to catch up on all the movies that I had never seen.
So how far back have you watched these films? Back to the black and white days, or do you stick with modern ones?
I'd say around films in the 1980s. I haven't seen any black and white horror movies.
Mm. Some of them are pretty, you know, will get you by the seat every once in a while.
Yeah, I like the horror movies that can make you genuinely uncomfortable.
Mm.
Um, I've only ever seen I've only, and I'm gonna relate this to my theater going experience because I am a frequent flyer at my local movie theater.
Yeah.
Um, the only movie I've ever seen in theaters that made me actually squirm in my seat was Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say like Transformers or something.
Nah!
Well, I mean, there's some of those movies are so bad that they would make you want to run out of the theater. But yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know. Horror films are tough for me to watch because um, I wouldn't say I'm squeamish about it, but it really has to pull me in. And if it's just jump scare after jump scare after jump scare, like yeah, okay, let's get to the story.
Yeah, like never-ending jump scare fests are kind of boring to me because, like, you can just kind of tell when it's coming at a certain point.
Yeah, yeah. Is that the way with the games too? Would you rather have a game with a good story or one that's got the jump scares on it?
I don't have a game with a good story, if I'm being honest.
Mm. So, what would you say? Have you played a horror game that really stands out for you?
Yeah, the most recent horror game I've played actually, Dreadweight and its prequel Cooking Companions were legitimately like, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, just very good story. Just the amount of sadness that Cooking Companions made me feel towards the middle of it when like it drops the facade of being a cutesy game and it goes full on horror and you realize, oh my god, that is a human person. It just like sends chills down my spine.
Wow. So it kind of draws you in and then swerves 180 degrees.
Yeah, it takes a left turn that you aren't prepared for.
Oh my gosh. Well, and you said you played the sequel to it?
Yeah, it's a sequel actually came out on my birthday.
Wow. Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank
um,
you.
the what is the sequel about?
The sequel to Cooking Companions, which is Dreadweight, as I mentioned,
Yeah.
is a game where you and four other people are in a mansion. I'm not doing this game justice. I really am not. You're in a mansion, like a derelict old mansion, and strange things starts happening around the mansion, and you have to try and not die to the hands of any of the ghosts or the witch that is currently, being a little bit spiteful.
Yeah,
It's
well,
got heavy roots in the in Eastern, I think it's Eastern European folklore.
oh, okay.
The Baba Yaga. The Baba Yaga
Hmm.
is a central, like, a focus in the game. That is the witch.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, witches. A lot of those in the horror games tend to come from that area of folklore, what we usually see in those types of games. So it's one that's kept you going. I mean, it there wasn't any part that dragged for you.
No,
Huh?
not really.
Oh. So have they got a third one?
No.
Oh.
I really hope that they do come out with more games because so far, that's the only games that the developer has is Cooking Companions and Dreadweight. I really hope that they, get a third game
Yeah.
because I'd really like to see more from this developer.
So how do you go from that to wanting to play Pokemon?
I've just been a big Pokemon girly ever since I was a little girl too.
You just have all the spirit Pokemon.
Oh yeah, no. people on Twitter can confirm, as of late, I have not shut up about Mimikyu.
Well, I mean, that's pretty spooky.
It's just a little guy.
Yeah, little guy, little weird, scary guy.
One of my one of my fondest memories as a kid, and I say fondest in the most sarcastic tone, is my very first Pokemon game I ever played was Pokemon Heart Gold,
Hmm.
and still never beat the game. Ended up actually deleting my save file because I bricked the Pokewalker by accident.
Oh.
So I lost my fucking Entei.
I, after all that work.
After all that work, I lost Entei
Oh no.
because the game froze when I was trying to transfer him back.
Oh, oh, I hate that stuff. Oh man. And
But
and it's not like a
my
save file you can go back to.
fondest memory was trying to beat Claire with an all ghost type team.
Mm-hmm. So
In my defense, huh?
go ahead.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you said in my defense. Go ahead.
In my defense, I was like 8,
Oh.
and I didn't understand how type matchup work, and I was also severely underleveled.
Well, you got to learn sometime.
And I learned the hard way.
So have you played through a lot of different Pokemon games so far?
I played through Black 2, lost my copy of that. I'm still mad about it because I had Meloetta.
Uh,
Never got that back.
you're building up all these characters and losing them.
Yeah, I'm really bad at it, it is a heavy debate in this family of whether my copy got given away or I lost it. But either way, I know that all of my Pokemon from that game ended up in Pokemon Bank, and Meloetta couldn't be transferred in at the time. And I no longer have the game.
The thing is, you got to catch them all, not catch and release them all.
Yeah, no. Unlike a certain character from Black and White. I played through X and Y, Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and the original Sun and Moons.
Okay.
Didn't play ORAS. And then I ended up playing Sword and Shield, and we're getting ready to play Scarlet or Violet.
Now, Sword and Shield, I remember when that came out, people were nonplussed at the start because of all the things that, like Sword and Shield, that's kind of the whole opposite of Pokemon. I mean, you're supposed to use the Pokemon to do it. How did you feel when that came out?
I enjoyed the game, actually. I do admit it was a little easy. Like, I had a little bit too easy. Considering I blew through about 3 gym battles in my first few hours of playing it.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. No grinding there, just right on through.
Yeah, no, I did not want to mess around and find out. I wanted to go to all the gyms. All the gyms.
You get to the Elite Four with level 7 Pokemon. Whoop!
That would be funny.
Whoop! Need to grind a little bit.
It's a champion battle. You get to the champion battle, it's just a Pichu.
Just one, and you beat it with a Spearow or something.
You beat it with a Pidgey.
With a Pidgey. That's right. That's level 7. You win. You should get like extra credit if that happens.
You should just be crowned king of Pokemon at that point.
Yeah, you should be in the next game as one of the Elite Four at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you only come up with like when you come up in the Elite Four, you only have one Pokemon, and it's going to be that going to be a Pidgey.
It's going to be just a singular Pidgey.
somebody's up to level 50 and all of the tricks and everything, and here you come out with one Pidgey at
It's like
them.
you'll never defeat me.
Oh,
It's like whenever you run into like youngster Joey or something at the end of the game, and it's like my Pokemon are stronger than yours, and you literally have like the equivalent of Pokemon gods in your party.
and he throws out a Wurmple. Okay, we'll take your money. We'll kill your Pokemon and take your money. Thank you, young man. Sit over here.
It's like next time get stronger.
That's
It's a
right.
skill issue.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, you're going to be playing. Are you going to play through once you get that capture card? Are you going to be playing through all of them once you get online? Or are you going to just go from where you're at now?
I'm gonna actually restart the entirety of my progress in both Sword and Shield, play both of them, and then play Scarlet or Violet.
Mm.
Um, we're still working on the crowdfunding campaign for Legends Arceus.
Yeah, and then you'll be a Pokemon and horror VTuber.
Yes.
No
I
gotcha
mean,
games?
Pokemon has, huh?
Are you going to go for the gotcha games?
I don't
So
have the money to go for the gacha games.
yeah, it's probably good. It's probably just as well because even if you did have the money, soon you wouldn't have the money.
Yeah. It's like, wow, let's go gambling.
Well, yeah, lost again. Okay. No, I watch folks do those and they're like, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and I have just enough for one pull, and it's the exact same thing they did last time. Like, okay,
It's like 15 pulls later.
and it's still the same one every time.
I will admit I have had because I do play gacha games.
Mm,
Um I do not play them on stream, but I do play gacha games.
uh-huh.
The last time I ever played a gacha game, I had uncharacteristically good luck pulling. And that's how I ended up with an E3 Boot Hill in Honkai Star Rail.
Well, dang. That's more than uncharacteristically good. I mean, you're in great shape with that. And that's when you should start streaming with that.
Yeah, I don't want to curse my luck.
Just make sure you
Because like getting two 10 pulls back to back, one
yeah.
with a double 5-star is wild.
Make sure you save it for crying out loud.
Yeah, no, we're not letting the Pokemon Bank incident happen again.
So when you do get your model up a second ago, you've got your have you got it all set up? Have you got the what you want your model to be like?
Yeah, I do have a ref sheet at least.
Yeah.
I've had this unfortunate character concept theorized ever since I was like first started watching VTubers really.
Yeah.
And it's based off a nightmare that I kept on having.
We'll call it inspiration.
You see, my dream demons can't hurt me if I give them a tragic backstory and feelings.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But then you can just sympathize with them.
I can just go, there, buddy. You don't want to kill me. You just want to, vent your
That's right.
problems.
That's right. I'm on your side. Okay, the whole world's on your side. uh,
I know you're just a little guy deep down.
put the knife away. Yes. you, you don't need that knife. That's perfectly fine. Yes, we're fine. The,
But it's just like I heard the concept of like somebody's like, don't give your nightmares form, and I'm like, I'm putting this on paper. It's being birthed into the world. I want to see it.
yep, I want to see exactly what this nightmare does to everybody else. Share it with the world.
Uh, And the thing is, it's warped so much from what it originally was, which was just like a woman with a giant hole in her face to the ghost of an undead reporter.
Yeah. A woman with a giant hole in her face. That sounds like a really, really bad nightmare.
Yeah, it would kind of just stare at me.
With a hole in her face? Does she have anything to stare with?
Like, you know how you just face somebody's general direction and, like,
Mm.
even if you're not looking directly at them, it feels like their eyes are boring into the back of your skull?
Oh, yes.
Kind
Yeah.
of like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can feel its attention just focused on you, but at the same time, there's nothing to, look and see that you're staring at it with. Like, where are eyes?
Oh, my gosh. Now, well, I didn't want to sleep tonight either. Thanks.
Sorry, didn't I?
Think they keep the old man up at night now. So we know exactly what your nightmares do. They keep other people up.
I've traumatized everyone from children to the elderly. It's fine.
And more to come.
And more to
More
come.
to come. Well, once you get everything going, and you've got some of the games laid out, is there a certain game that you really want to stream that you haven't either got or had a chance to play yet? Is there something out there that you want to do with it?
That's a great question that I don't know the answer to. I think the only game that I want to stream that I haven't got is Pokemon Legends Arceus. And that's simply because I decided to put it on Throne. I'm like, you know what? I'll chuck it on Throne. I'll put it on a crowdfunding thing. Nobody's gonna touch it. Maybe I'll come back, take it off, and buy it later.
Maybe. You never
It's
know,
like
though. You,
33% funded. I don't know who keeps on donating to it, but I think.
hey, 33% is still 33%.
Yeah, no, every time I see my Throne notifications go off, I get a little bit scared.
Well, one of these days you'll have it completely funded, and then what'll you do? Oh, you'll probably enjoy it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna I want to catch an Arceus. I want to catch an Arceus.
Want to catch an Arceus? I want to catch an Arceus.
I want Pokegod.
But do you have a big goal for your channel once you get going? Is there something out there on the horizon that you're kind of aiming at?
Part of me wants to say, join a big VTuber corpo, make something of yourself, get like get famous,
Right.
but the other part of me just knows that like I don't really have a particular goal in mind.
Mm.
I want to be loved, sure. I want to be a well-revered creator and I want to make my mark on the world. At the same time, if regardless of whether my audience is, small as it is or big as it may be in the future, I'm happy where I'm at.
That sounds perfectly fine to have that goal way out there, and then have something realistic underneath it. That's perfectly good. But you've wanted to be a creator for some time, so this is you. I mean, you're more than three-quarters of the way there. It must be starting to get pretty exciting for you.
It is. It's a little nerve-wracking too because like on one hand, this is what I wanted. On the other hand, what do you mean people want to watch me yap for 5 hours?
So were you someone who liked being in front of people and entertaining, or were you the person that watched other people do it and hid?
I got bullied in school. Does that say anything about me?
Well, these days I don't know, but back in my day, it means you hid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of how I was. I was like the weird kid in school.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because most of the folks who are the weird kids at schools end up being the richest. With the fact that you've wanted to do the content creation, and that you've kind of dipped your toe in and done some things online now, has it been easier for you than you thought? Has it been harder for you than you thought? Are there things you want to improve on once you do get the model going?
I mean, it's been a lot easier than I thought it would be, being able to talk to people.
Hmm.
I used to have the problem where I would have to specifically bounce off of other people and I could not be funny unless somebody was with me, but I do think my humor's improved. Um I'd like to, get better at fixing half the technical issues I experience on stream.
Well, yeah, and
We've been having audio problems lately.
well, I mean that all comes with it. I mean, there's a lot of different things that can affect audio, and I'm coming from the radio background, so we've got a lot of different, things we use. I mean, you can use a little baffling, sound baffling will make a big difference. It's always more. People always talk about microphone quality. I guess that makes a little bit of a difference. Not as much as you might think. Not doing
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say Oh, you continue.
No, if like I'm talking right in front of a window right now, which is really terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, windows are very bad for sound as far as that goes. So if you can put something, even if it's a screen in front of it, something that will make it sound a lot better usually, and you'll be surprised how much it makes a difference.
I think my biggest hurdle in terms of sound currently is and I'm staring at it, it's right across the room right now, and it's my washing machine. Uh,
Yeah, that'll cause some problems. Yes.
and it's not even the fact that you can hear it running during streams. The fact that I have an out of balance washing machine, and so sometimes it just likes to escape from the wall.
It just kind of takes off on its own, does it?
Yeah, it was in the middle of the room the other day and it scared living daylights out
Oh, we've had that in our place too. Every once in a while, we'll hear something just we have it something in the wash, and we'll hear it bouncing and bouncing, and come back, and it's like 3 inches away from the wall. Like push it back.
It's like you get your ass back there, young man.
That's right. We didn't get you repaired just for you to go out, take a walk, get back there, do your stuff. It'd take three of my paychecks to fix that again. Not gonna mess with that. It's been absolutely a pleasure talking with you, and I really hope that everything gets to you here soon, so we can see what you got as far as VTubing goes. Are you excited?
I am hyped.
Well,
I am honestly hyped.
yeah. When you get on there, how quick is it going to be before you start doing collaborations and stuff?
I've already done a few actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think my very first collab in that VOD has been Lost to Time was with Rian Kukuro. I think I'm not pronouncing her name right. I know I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of owe the fact that I'm a Twitch affiliate to her because she's the one who actually brought attention to me. But I think my most recent collabs was with Cinefon, who's this really cool goat
Yeah.
VTuber.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna get them all. The VTubers are my Pokemon. I'm gonna interview them all by the time I'm done.
You got the VTuber Pokédex at the ready.
Yeah. I mean, I got a long way to go. But,
Oh, definitely.
we got a nice start with it, but I'm really glad that you came on with me, and I hope that once you get everything up and going and you're running, you come back and we talk about how those first few weeks of VTubers life is going for you.
It's like we come back and I'm just like, Eric, everything is on fire.
Hey, we can talk about that. I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.